Hey there, this is Strajo and welcome back to a brand new tutorial for the Guild 3. So about a year ago I made a tutorial for the Guild 3, but there has been a few updates since then, and now we have a clear roadmap toward the official Alta Verde access for the game that's coming up in the summer. So I felt like it was an excellent moment to remake a tutorial for this title, so you have better orientation on how to start off. So let's jump right inside it. So welcome to the Guild 3. We'll start with a single player game and start a brand new game. Now you have a lot of options here, but you can really go wild. You can do the tutorial, but that's boring. You won't really need a tutorial after watching this video, so I will recommend just picking whatever city right here that sounds the best to you. We'll go and jump into London. We'll put the maximum amount of enemy dynasty, that will be 10. I will recommend leaving the difficulty to normal, because if you go to hard or impossible, the AI is much more aggressive and it's very likely that they will be able to kill you early on in the game. At normal difficulty, there should not be any such struggles early in the game. Years per round, you can decide from 1 to 4, but the basic is 2. We'll leave it at that. Just changes the amount of years every day. It will go forward 2 years rather than 1 or 4, and that just affects the aging of the characters, because you're building a dynasty here. So if you jump at 4 years a round, character will age much faster, and you will need higher rotation in your character availability with making more children, but they will grow older faster, which is kind of a balancing act. At 2 years per round, I feel like that's a pretty good setup. For the game mode, we can either start at Poor Fellow or Career mode, and they are essentially the same game that you'll be playing. The difference is Poor Fellow, you only start with 3,000 gold pieces, and you start as a poor peasant outside of the main city, while Career mode, you start with more money, I believe 5,000, and you start as a citizen of the city, which honestly takes about 45 minutes to reach that level, so we will go ahead and jump in as a Poor Fellow. For a family campaign, you have different choices, but I'd recommend becoming sovereign the default choice, because if you can reach that objective in your first game, you've pretty much nailed down the gameplay of the Guild 3. And then we'll jump into continue. And here we have character creation. Now, this is not essential to working very hard in creating a character, because you're building a dynasty, not a single character. So the most important features will be to select your coat of arms. That will dictate the color of your buildings and units. So I'd recommend taking something that is very different, because if you look at these two shades of purples, if two families are there, it could be easy to confound the different units. But if you jump in and get something like, let's say, red, there's only one, and it will be easier to tell apart while you're playing in the game. You'll be able to select the first name and family name. The really important thing is family name. That will not change, and it's perfect. It's red, so we'll keep that. We now have a choice for religion. We can either be Catholics or Protestant, or we can be secular, which has no advantage. The only difference that will cause is if you pick one or the other, you will have buff and maluses depending on the religion of the other characters you're interacting with. So if you are Catholic and you interact with another Catholic, you'll have a bonus to the relationship. And if you are Catholic but you interact with Protestant character, then there will be a malus, so your action will be less powerful. I recommend leaving it as secular, so you don't have any bonus or malus, and you can pretty much deal with any other characters in any way you see fit. Now, the most important setting will be the initial startup skills. So you have different choice between farmer, archivist, fisherman, craftsman, thinker, potter, herbalist, preacher, barber, robber, gravedigger, and minstrel. I would recommend you pick one of the first 6, so either a yellow or a red, because they're more simple in the way they operate in the world, and it's also more hands-off to make money with these professions. The other professions need a little bit more interaction from the player while playing, because they have either a very particular way they can act to make money. For example, if you're a robber, you actually need to go and rob characters to make more money, and leaving your industry work on their own in the back to just print out money. So there's no worries if you pick, for example, fisherman. and you eventually want to become an herbalist, in the game it's possible to unlock every single profession throughout the playthrough. The first one is really just your setup, and then you can expand from that point into more complex profession inside the skill tree. So really one of the first 6 will be ideal. You will almost do the same thing no matter which one you take. It will just be the names and the business and the items you produce are different, but generally speaking you'll be making about the same money. So we'll go down the farmer paths because I don't believe I've ever made a video as a farmer. And now we have a different character customization. We can be a female, a male. We can change the character size, look. So this is really just aesthetic customization. You don't need to be worried too much about it. You can spend some time. It's not the Oblivion character maker to say, but it's still interesting that you have some variety in customization, even though most of the time in the game you will not even be paying attention to the first character you create, look. And every other fellow characters you will have, your wife, your child, your grandchild, and whatever else, they will not be customizable at the same level. So don't be too stressed out about how you modify this one. And now one recommendation for the abilities, you can either leave it as normal with 3 points in each category, but what I like to do is take down 1 point of everything and increase the charisma, which will help us tremendously when we start off the game with our first 30 missions that we will undertake in. And now we can jump into the game with play. All right, so the little loading screen is done and we're now finally home in our beautiful city of London. Well, in a side village of London to be more accurate. First thing I would recommend to do is press the minus key on your numpad keyboard to slow down the time in the top right. Because the game is in real time, the more time you lose, the less money you'll be making. So it's imperative to be able to control time, and using the plus and minus are the fastest way to go from plus 4 to minus. Well, you can pause a game, but you can't actually play the game when you're paused. But if you go in slow mode, it's the minimum speed you can actually do something. And it really is slow-mo, right? The characters are very, very slow. It's almost a pose, but not really. You see, they're still moving. But we have a few tasks to start making money. The first one will be to erect a new building. We will go for a croft. This is if you go into the businesses unlock, will be whatever profession you took. So if you took farmer also, you'd have croft, but if you took fisherman, you'd have a fisher shack, or if you took a handyman, you'd have an handyman crafting. The name will be site and fail. That sounds like a perfect name. Let's create that, and now we need to place it down outside. And now you have little overlay appears on the road, and as you can see, there's some white areas, there's some blue areas, there's some purple areas, and these really just dictate the limitation for where you can put the building. So whenever it's white and there's no color, it's not actually a city road, it's just a trans district road, so you cannot build anything near it. It's all wilderness. But wherever you see some of that blue, that will indicate it's a village or whatever other color outside the walls, and you can build this type of building. But let's say I want to come right here and try to build inside the city. It says you need to build it within a village, so you cannot build it inside the town. And if we go right here, there's another small village right here. No, that's not a village. There's probably another small village right here. There's one, so I could build it here. But we will go nearby our starting location, so we don't have to run too far from our house. And also close to the market, so our transport units don't have to waste too much time. So we'll build a croft right in front of our little house.
Now
that will take some time before it's built, so in the meantime we will send our character back home with the send home button to undertake our first real task. Once the character is inside the home, we can open up the building menu. We can assign the main character as a worker inside the house, and we will be creating a bouquet of flower. Just one, please. Now our character will be making the bouquet of flower. We can speed up time, wrap it up faster. Now it's created. We can slow down back to slow-mo. Take the bouquet, put it into our inventory. We will be needing it for our new task that we will be set on. So we'll jump outside of the map, outside of the house, and we'll open up romance and liaison. We'll embark on a romance right now, and we will take a look at different characters. Now the characters, you have a few different information as available. You have the name of the person. We have Carissa, Victoria, Evelyn. We got the titles: citizens, commoner, lady squire. We are commoner, I think. When we start, we're level 1, so that doesn't really have any impact. But sometime if you marry a lady squire, it's possible she has rich clothes that you can sell off and make a little bit of money. So there's some gaming possibilities coming out of the different titles. And there's the current romantic state, and they should all be single throughout the list, because we were looking to marry someone. We can't marry someone that's already married. Now we also have the level, which is just character level. They all start at 1, but some of the pre-made characters are higher level. That just means they will have higher stats, and they can be faster whenever you put them to work. And we also have the most important stat, the age. So this character is 26, this character is 20, this character is 18. And these stats are very important because the older the character is, the female characters are, the lesser their fertility is, which is a problem because we need higher fertility to create heirs. So we want to get them as young as possible, and I believe the youngest you can go is 16. There is one right here, Brigitte, which is a citizen. But this 18 years old Evelyn Petitfer seems like the perfect person to marry. So we will confirm the start of a romance. And now once we have our character selected, we can press F and we will be following our character. So now he will go through the location of Evelyn and embark into a romance. While we're on the way to meet our little lady squire, our croft has been finished. So we will double click on it to jump into the building interface, pull down back the time to slow-mo, and we will do some hiring so things start rolling and money starts being printed. First thing we'll need is on the right side, you have transporter, business workers. We will be hiring people, and we will be purchasing the workers because we don't have any free available family members at this moment. It'll cost 200 gold pieces to hire a transporters, and it will cost 200 pure worker also. So we will proceed to hire both of them, and now we will launch some production. You can assign them manually the work orders and tell them to go gather resources and everything, and we can set them up to manually produce everything in the order list. So for example, right here, if I let them go, they'll be making 60 barley, 60 wheat, 60 bucket of water, and 60 barley again, and it will finish. But if we hit the looped production, it will go through the entire list and come back from start and do it again. Or we can automate the production, which will make the worker do their current production, and then whatever's best for them to make profits will be the next action they'll undertake. So right now it seems like the game's suggesting that they will be making 10 wheat, 10 barleys, and 10 bucket of water in that order, and that should be the most advantageous way to make money early on for our little croft. Now we'll also jump into the add-in window, which we can have a vast selection of different upgrades we can build, and we'll go ahead right now and get an extension for workers. So we'll have one additional worker, because the more people we have working in our business, the more money it will be making us. So now we got that little croft going. Let's jump back to Tan Red on the hunt for his future wife. All right, so there's some competition. There's already Albert Huntley trying to Evelyn Petitfer. And let's take this option from Charisma. It's 73%. Perfect. She loves it. She wants to embark in a romance with us. So we will click the little consumable. We'll use the bouquet of flower and offer a bouquet of flower. That will increase our romance and attraction toward us greatly by 30 points. Then we can go back into romance liaison, go into a compliment,
Yes, sir.
confirm the compliment, and right there you see this is 72% for the charisma, while intelligence and perception only offer 54% chance of success. All right, so we have done about 20 exchange of compliments, and now we can go and propose a marriage because we're at maxed out bar, so we got 98% chance.
Yes.
Confirm that. Will you be my wife? She would accept that. Then we can click back here and offer a marriage,
Yes.
which she will accept. And for you can either go in the church for 50 coins, or you can get instantly married for a little influence price. But we will start a church marriage just for you. Usually I don't bother going to the church because it's a little cutscene and everything. But just for you, and the church is nearby, we will jump in and do that.
Welcome to the house of God.
Right, so we will be doing a church wedding. Perfect. And be careful whenever you're inside buildings. It's kind of buggy sometimes. The characters. So my future wife is running in, and we will be married. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, she does. So be it. Here we go. We're now man and wife.
I hereby declare you man and wife.
Perfect. So now we're married. We can. Oops.
Here I
Our
am.
character, she joined the red family. She changes her clothes to fit the color scheme of her family, and we can come here right under character and add her into one of the main characters. So we now have two different characters. Right here we'll just go and upgrade whatever.
You wanted
And
to
now
talk to me?
one action we'll undertake is under dynasty and business. We will produce offspring with our wives. So now our character will be running back home. Right, and we're getting home with our wife. So they go upstairs. The little produce offspring is going on. Soon our characters will be married. Well, and soon our characters will be expecting a child. So here we go. Somebody's expecting a baby. Perfect. So our character is now
Want to
pregnant,
talk to me?
and we will be waiting. So one thing we can do while waiting is we can open up, you can right click on the workbench here. That will open up the screen for the interactions with the house, and we can hire a new worker. That will be our wife.
What's that?
Confirm that, and we can use boast about your achievement, put into the order list, put 10 of them, and cycle back. And now our characters, our wife and main character, this one is doing nothing because we canceled the work earlier, but we can just click resume working. They'll be boasting our achievement, granting us experience and influence. So now we have our craft running right there. Let's take a look at that. Making a little bit of money. Basically our units are working, gathering water, gathering wheat, bring it back to the site and fail, and then our transporter takes these resources from our business and bring it to a marketplace to sell them off for money. If we go into the little budget book in the top left, open up the business tab, we'll see how much we spent up to now on building, upgrading, hiring, and paying wages, and how much money we've made. So up to now we spent about almost 2,000. We spent almost 3,000 gold pieces for this building, and I already brought back 1,500 for the current day. So as long as this business keeps rolling, it will be bringing in money. And since we're not spending building upgrade prices and add-ins and hiring new employee every day, the revenue will the revenues will be higher than the expense, and we will be making money slowly but surely. And as we upgrade our buildings, will be better and better. And now our characters are boasting about our achievements, like having a wife, creating a new croft that makes money, and we're getting influence. Now if you click into the skill 3, that will open the skill 3, and here you can see under food preparation we have agriculture 1, which is the starting skill. We also have fisherman, archivist, and miller's trade, which are different little trade that, if you can remember at the start of the game, we were able to unlock either of them as starting skill. And if you move to the side, you'll see handicraft, scholarship, roguery. So all the different professions can be unlocked from here as you get the required currency. For example, to open up scholarship, you'll need 500 influence, and then you need to pay 1,000, I believe, each to gradually unlock each of the profession that will allow you to build the buildings and exploit the money-making schemes behind them. And if you go all the way, you'll have social skills, which cost influences but require different titles before you can start unlocking them. So right now it seems everything is going in place. First day is almost up. One thing we can do is we can pay a little bit to unlock the title of commoner. Let's go ahead, confirm this cost, and we will have that title unlocked. Now if we look at our agriculture 1, we can see that agriculture 2 requires a title called yeoman, which is the next one. So what we can do right now is just chill out a bit, wait a little bit, stack the money, and see you once that's unlockable. I really will not be doing much difference until our wife gives birth, and then we'll produce a new child also. All right, so it is now midnight. We just jump into summer 1402. Right now our child has been born because we're jumping 2 years at a time, and we will slow down time. So if we look at the family tree, our first child is born. We have a daughter called Alicia Raid, and our wife is no longer pregnant. So one thing we can do is select our main character, dynasty interaction, speed up time a bit for the cooldown to finish in producing offsprings, and go ahead and produce more and more offspring. The more children you have, the more you'll be able to have grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-great-great-grandchildren and so on. And these characters are important because they can be married to double your workforce that works for free, because whoever is in your family will not require any wage to be able to work into either your houses or inside your businesses. So now cooldown is off. Let's start another production of offspring, and she will be pregnant again, hopefully, and we will be waiting for second born. And meanwhile, the croft during the night from 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. is in sleep mode, so everybody's home. And once it's 4 a.m., they all come back to work and jump right back at what they were doing.
I'm a bit busy right now.
Right, so we're starting to make a little bit of money. Now we could jump in and increase the yeoman stat, but when we unleash the commoner title, we actually gain the right to build extra businesses. Now we could build a second croft and profit out of that, but there's some legitimacy into going with a variety. One good option will be to jump to the miller's trade, because that will allow us to create flour from the different grains we're picking up, and will also allow us to create bran, which is livestock feed that will be useful later on for ourselves when we unlock cattle and pigs. So we will jump down, unlock the miller's trades for 1,000 coin, and come and build a windmill around Ergot right next to Our Croft. Perfect. And now we will speed up time and wait for it to be built. Actually pretty funny how it's just popping out of the ground. All right, so we'll need the same treatment as the other businesses. We'll need a transporter and hiring workers. We will start off with that, and then we will wait for the add-ins because we just don't have the money on hand right now. And we'll speed up time and we'll start making us a little bit more cash. And also the units are intelligent enough. Make sure to automate production, but the units are intelligent enough to go into your other businesses to gather up whatever goods you need. Right now we don't have anything in stock, so it's not possible, but eventually if we have enough workers here with all the extension or transporter could just run into the croft and bring back the flour, the product needed to create the flour. Right now we'll just let them buy up from the market at a little markup, and just wait for them to produce better goods and then export that out and make a little bit of money with that. One way we can try to make a little bit more wealth is also to do a little bit of manual trading. So if we pick our main character and run to the market, look for a riding horse. It increases the storage slots and increases the speed a lot. We will buy one of it. Then we will need to identify goods available in the market can be sold for profit at a different one. Right here we can buy cattle for 99 pieces each. That will cost us $6,000, but we can sell it in Maidstone for 101. Let's open the building interface and go to different trading points. And we said it was Maidstone Market.
Anything wrong?
Right here we can press Ctrl 1 to bind the first key of the keyboard to our character Tanred, and then select Maidstone and send him on his way. We'll ride his little horse. All right, so right here, our cows, we sell it, almost $200 profit. Boom, like that. Right here, we can go to Watford and do $3 each. Buy 6,000 of them. Let's go to Watford.
Yes.
Hold them. A little like $300 profit. Good. Right, let's see what resources we have. A lot here. You can look at the color here. If it's green on the left side, it means the buying price is good. If it's green on the right side, it means the buying price is great. But we just need to locate something that is available in a good amount. Right here, Cauldron. We can go to Tower of London for $2 each. And we only have 17 here, so open up the building map and let me just check the key binding. For toggle building, it's just B, right? Here's just B. Looking at the quick selection, X. Oh yes, it's X. All right, so press X.
Yes.
Go to Tower of London.
Yes, sir.
Yep, perfect. Speed up there. Press X. Right. So I kind of just realized that I've recorded a couple of scenes and I explained that you can press Ctrl plus and Ctrl minus to go from slow-mo to 4x. But I didn't realize Ctrl plus was my mute microphone hotkey on OBS. And the unmute is shift minus, and I never pressed it after. So I got like 30 minutes of me speaking to a muted microphone. But basically all we did, we used our character to do some trading from cities to cities. And we built a windmill, we built an orchidist hut, just starting to print some money. And now we're getting a little bit more loose. So as soon as we jump to the next title, we'll be back to see a little bit more expansion. Alright, and we're finally able to claim the next title of resident. We can do a little bit more expansion with fishermen.
Count your blessings. Your tireless
We need
efforts have
to
earned you a
find
title.
the water fishing spot, which is right here. Build it right in front of the church. Swear to God, Sunday morning's gonna smell real good. So we're finally able to jump into the next title, and we can do that from the home view. Right click on open the skill 3 and claim citizenship for 4,000. Claim title, confirm 250 influence. Perfect, we're now citizens. We can now jump into the city records
Congratulations.
and realize that there's the informal position that is open, and we can apply,
I can't help right
select
now.
our main character, and pay the influence price. Now we have applied for a council position, which is the goal. Good, and we should now have the proper funds to start our little hospitality business. Let's get level 1 and let's go and build a public house. The Toad and the Badger. Perfect. Oh, we could have snuck it in right here, but it's a very big building, yeah? Where can it fit? Ooh, it fit right here. On the main street near the Cathedral of the Kingdom Come. And right next to the mayor's house. Alright, perfect. And in the Toad and Badger, we will hire a transporter, business workers. They're slightly more expensive, but it's alright. Then we will automate production, so our transporter will get the primary goods, and then our workers will transfer them in one of these. And hospitality also has customers that can be attended to. So sometime the walker-bys will come and get served in here from, and we can sell them goods that we have produced for much more than they're worth. So it's a good way to make money. Another beautiful thing, our daughter is now 15, so she can be married.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
send her home, get her a little bit set up to make sure she has good hopes of doing something in life. And we will
Yep.
open up the we'll just exit the building so it doesn't bug up. Building menu. We'll make bouquet of flower. It will be manually produce that. Get back to work. We'll be making one. Back to repeat. We'll stop working. Grab those bouquet, my lady. Go find a suitable husband. Now, age is less important when you're looking for a husband, but it still kind of is. You don't want an impotent husband. Sometimes, you know, you can look here. This guy, he has a mask, so it's something we can sell. Make a little bit of early money. I think this city dude will be perfect.
She's on
Let's
toast.
confirm that. Try something because she's not that great in the stats.
That won't take long.
We got +1 charisma from the perfume.
I want you to know.
Bit dangerous. Proposal 88%. Let's try that.
God him.
Get 8 church winning. From that. Already in the church. Alright, and finally, election result. We got the position. We're now Consul Guardian. And you've got a pretty good idea now of how the game works, how to get started, how to get into the political scene. Now you can use your power, you can go ahead and explore from this point. And you should be already on the good path. Now if you look at the skills tree, you keep going down as you reach the nobleman position. And you obtain nepotism, which allow you to fill the entire city records with all your family. So everybody who's working in the city is your own dynasty and you vote on everything. And then you elect yourself sovereign once the existing live sovereign perishes away unexpectedly. But yeah, that's the game. It's actually pretty fun. You can also later try challenge, for example, becoming sovereign without building a single business, so just trying some trading with long distance and other random ventures. And I think there's a lot of fun to have with this game, and you should definitely check it out. Thanks for watching. This has been Strajo. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to drop a subscribe and a like. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.